had a dream last night. What a lovely dream it was. I dreamed we all were alright, happy in a land of Oz.
Hey groovy dudes, it's Gary here with the Drenched Fur 15 committee and a news update that's probably been expected for some time now. First, I want to thank everyone for their patience as we've been kind of chilling this summer as we move along in the months that get us closer and closer to next year's event. The big news is, first, that we signed the contract with the host and overflow hotels for next year, and that means that we can begin the room booking process. That's right. Next week, everyone who has registered and filled out a room request form will begin to get their contact phone calls from the sales department to book their rooms for next year's event. Now, there's a couple of things I want everyone to know. Part of the contract negotiation is that breakfast is going to now be included in your overnight stay for the Clarion Hotel as well as for the overflow. So you don't have to worry about paying for breakfast anymore. It will be available in the hotel restaurant Thursday, Friday, Saturday mornings. And then, of course, we're planning to do the brunch on Sunday morning. Now, in addition to that, part of the contract negotiations, because of the price change that is accommodating for the breakfast, we have that extended out for the following year. So our prices have increased, but they are locked in for 2 years as of right now that they are standing. So that's pretty awesome for us. Also, next week, when the sales team begins their contacts to you, they're going to be using what we call the date and time stamp of when you actually registered to attend the event. This is very important. So they're going to start with the very first person and then move down the line as they do so. And the reason that I'm talking about this specifically is I know that people want to be able to get their room booked as quickly as possible, but there could be unexpected delays if an individual isn't available when the sales team reaches out to you to finish the booking process. The information that you filled out on the room request form, they're going to put that into the reservation system, but they're going to need a credit card to be able to finish the actual the reservation itself. And because of that, they need to actually speak to you to make sure that they have the credit card on file. Now, for those of you that haven't booked before, it's important to know that you're not paying a deposit. There is no hold or any of that kind of thing that's going to go on the card. It's just so that they can hold the reservation. However, when you do arrive for the actual event, payment will be paid upon check-in. So keep that in mind as the event gets closer, especially if you're sharing a room and one person isn't footing the entire bill, that you tell the front desk upon arrival how you're going to take care of the room bill so they can accommodate that appropriately. Okay. Also, there could be a delay in the process of getting back to individuals if there's things that are going on with the hotel itself in terms of events and other things that are happening. It is their busy season for tourism, but we expect to have this done as soon as possible. Once the first, say, a couple dozen rooms are locked down, which typically are going to be the highly requested poolside rooms as well as the suites, that type of stuff, once that's taken care of, then everything pretty much flows from that point forward going on. One of the things I know I've been asked about often is if you booked at the host hotel or at the overflow hotel, meaning you put in your room request form, does that mean you actually have a room at the overflow, let's say? Well, we don't know that for certain because we have to make sure that we actually accommodate all the room requests that come in. And there is a possibility that people that are rooming together submitted more than one room request. So what could happen is, say, 2 individuals are sharing a room, but they put in separate room requests. Once the room is booked, the second person, say, doesn't need it, and then they tell the sales staff. Well, then they would kind of basically come out of the line, and then that moves everybody up a spot. And the more that happens, we basically do what we call condensing, which is a possibility that those that have overflow rooms could end up moving up to the host hotel. And as usual, the way we operate is those that are registered have first option to move between the overflow to the host hotel. And of course, we're going to have shuttle service available approximately 20 hours every day, almost round the clock. They're going to stop about the time that we end the after hours, and then they'll kick up again in the morning. So individuals can go between the two properties. And of course, our overflow hotel is less than a mile away. It's like 0.95 miles away. Or If you want to, you can walk it, you can take a Lyft or an Uber if you needed to as well. That's an option. If you are unsure if you submitted a hotel room request or you need to do so, you can send us an email at registration@drenchedfur.com, and then we'll get back to you to make sure that that's squared up. We know that out of the first 100 room requests that we did get from the online system, anybody that we did not have a matching room request for, we've reached out to them to make sure that we have the opportunity that they have one that they can submit. If you are planning on rooming with somebody else and that's why you didn't submit one, that's fine. Make sure that you reply and let us know that so we can make that notation, because the hotel as well as the committee doesn't want to skip anybody as we're going through the process in this case. And that's pretty much it for right now. We're looking forward to the room process getting started officially next week. It should be finished by the time we get to the end of the month. That does remind me also that we're expecting the registration rates to be increasing later this summer. So for those of you that are still pending on payment, make sure that you get that in. We'll send you out a reminder to make sure that that's squared up as well. As always, if you need anything, please let us know. We appreciate your patience very much, waiting for this process to finally get kicked off. And we look forward to all of you joining us for Drenched Fur 15 Wolfstock next year. Peace, love, fur, and we'll see you later.
I had a dream last night. What a lovely dream it was. I dreamed we all were alright, happy in a land of ours. What a lovely dream it was.